Good afternoon, brothers and sisters, and welcome once again to the Self Improvement Basis for Community Development Talk Show. I'm your weekly host, Brother James Muhammad, and I'm honored to have on the show from the United School of Survival, Brother Sensei Michael Muhammad. Good afternoon, brother. Welcome to the show.
Thanks
You
for having
also
me.
have two of your students, Sister Lokila Lane and also Tamika Muhammad. On March the 19th, 2016, at the Charles Powell Community Center, there's going to be a special event. The title of the event is I Am Not a Victim, Self-Defense Workshop for Women.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the event and what can we expect on March the 19th?
Well, you can expect many good things. We're gonna be talking about a whole range of things as far as violence against women. And as you can see, as the title of the program, "I'm Not a Victim," is a statement, and it's deal with a mindset. You got to have a mindset of "I'm not the victim" before you can even get started on the road of being not a victim. If that makes any sense.
Now, this domestic violence in Shelby County. Let me read some statistics to you, brother. According to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, 288 murders or negligent homicide stemming from domestic violence occurring in Tennessee during a 3-year study from 2011 to 2013.
Hmm.
Think about that now. Every day we turn on the news, someone is dying from domestic violence.
Exactly.
Uh, for the women who come into this program, what can they learn at the community center as it relates to self-defense and not being a victim?
Well, first they got to learn how to see the signs of domestic violence. Most of them don't take it as serious because it's all about self worth as well as looking for the signs. And we're gonna talk about all that during this event. We're gonna show them the signs that they need to look for and teach them how to stand up. And because you don't necessarily always have to announce that you see the signs because that could be trouble. You got to know how to you got to strategize to get out of certain situations because a lot of women out here is in very dangerous situations that it just takes seconds to lose their life.
Okay, now, how long have you been in martial arts, bro?
Um, Basically, almost all my life since I was 10, maybe, and I'm 44 right now.
Okay, then, and what degree of learning are you at now as it relates to martial art?
I'm just a first degree black belt in VSK Jiu Jitsu under the teachings of Grandmaster Anthony Muhammad out of Chicago.
Okay, now there's a personal testimony as it relates to domestic violence in your life also.
Yes, sir. I was inspired. I would say re-stimulated because my family was a victim of domestic violence. My auntie was killed by her husband, and also my little cousin because he shot his wife and his daughter and killed both of them. And when my coworker, which is one that's sitting next to me,
And your students.
and my student, my coworker and my student, when she did a program at our job, and she was showing a story about her auntie, and it really it inspired me, and I thought about doing a program because we must do something about it and make people more aware of it.
Okay. Now, you're a student in Jiu-Jitsu, and you also have a testimony as it relates to domestic violence. And what have you learned out of the class, and what is your testimony, sister?
Well, what I've learned out of that class is how to defend myself in the event someone tries to be the aggressor. I won't be a victim. I have not been a victim. And the message that I'm trying to get out to the community is for no one else to be a victim. My cousin prepared a presentation and she spread it amongst family members so that we can spread it among people in the community to not be a victim, to know the signs of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, as well as physical abuse. And the presentation is very personal. It tells in detail how my aunt was murdered, and it tells how there is help for the abuser as well. Uh, there can be help for the abused, and it can be help for the abuser. And I will be doing that presentation, and hopefully, I can get the message across to the community that you don't have to be a part of domestic violence at all.
Okay. Now, this event It's a one-day event, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we know you can master the skills of martial arts in one day. You have two students. How long you have been taking the class?
Several years, maybe 3 at the most, on and off. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've been in about a year. A year.
Yeah, okay. Now, what advice can you give women as it relates to martial arts uh, and dealing with domestic violence? Some women, it's one thing to know martial art, but have the courage to use it.
Well, most women, not a lot of women, but most women, they tend to think that they're not warriors, and everybody's a warrior. And we just got to bring that warrior out of them. They can be sweet and nice and a warrior at the same time, because it's all about survival. You got to survive. You're not living just for yourself. You're living for your children. You're living for your family. So you got to survive. Survival is a must, and they can survive without bowing down or subjecting themselves to things that not worthy of them. They can do this,
Right.
and we can give them the courage to do it. And we will give them courage.
It doesn't matter about the size of
That's right.
your frame. As long as you're not the aggressor, you will win.
Okay. Now, when we look at domestic violence in Memphis, it seems like there is a lack of value over the woman or for the woman, the disrespect of the woman. There are certain things that take place in the home first. There are certain signs there that you see in the house first. There's certain things that you see in your relationship, in your courtship. What are some of those signs?
Well, I can tell you a major sign. Now, most women, you ever heard this saying, they raised a girl and just love the boy. They don't necessarily raise the boy, because in the beginning stage, if that child, you got to learn how to take disappointments well. If you don't know how to take disappointments, you can test the person. Test and see how he handle disappointment. You can see signs there. And as a woman raising a child, if you let your son get away with acting out, throwing temper tantrum over disappointment, you setting him up to not handle himself well, far as with a woman. Because he gonna expect that woman to let him get away with, just like his mama let him get away. And he looking for a mama. You got to put that in check at an early stage. You see what I'm saying? But even when you're dealing with a man, don't just say yes all the time right off the top. See how he handle no. And then you can see some things.
Good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah, it's definitely what I study is there is a cycle. It's it deals with the abuser wanting to have that control, and it's a lot of factors. One of the portions of the event is going to be a panel discussion, and one of those discussions is going to be conflict and resolution. Domestic conflict is real in our community, and from what I've been studying, the factors lead to domestic violence, like unemployment, the high rate of unemployment, which affects young black men in the community. The fact that in between the ages of 15 and 44, a black man will eventually lose his life. There are so many factors, so many very horrible factors that are disproportionate in the black community. It really deserves the attention of anyone of influence, the leaders, the teachers, the politicians. Anyone that has any kind of power should make it a priority to study the human condition, to study the black family, because there's something going on there, and it's disproportionate. So once we're able to kind of look at these factors, then we can really get to the root of domestic violence. And I just wanted to say, my teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he did a lecture on domestic violence, and he said that the black homicide disproportional rates is a barometer of the oppression that we suffer in America. He said that in a white dominated society, which is what this is, it is not accepted for us to lash out at white people, even though they are the perpetrators of our slavery and our oppression. We don't lash out at them. But on the other hand, this society rewards black on black aggression. So we may look at our own brother, our own image, and it's easy for us to say, shoot that N-word or kill that N-word, because when we look at white people, because of the way we have been trained in religion, you know, Jesus is God, and Jesus is a white man. And so we have been taught improperly about religion. So when we look at white people, we think we're looking at God. So if we want to harm them, we're going to harm God, even though they are oppressing us and putting us in this condition. And then on the other hand, we want to destroy one another. So this is also a factor of domestic violence that's taking place in our community. And it's a part of why the rates are so high, why we have so much domestic violence among them.
Sister said something very important. It reminded me of a study guide titled, Rising Above Emotions into the Thinking of God. So as I think about that study guide, how does martial arts and jiu-jitsu help you with that emotional factor that you see that comes up out of our community from unemployment and all these other issues that is sometimes rooted in the domestic violence?
You know, in the book of Proverbs, it speaks of controlling your emotions. Those who can't control their emotion is less than a fool, is weaker than a man that not able to take over a city and things of that nature. See, if you can't control yourself, and martial arts teach you how to control yourself, you got to be able to know how to control yourself and rise above your emotions. And that's the part of handling disappointments, handling things that's not going your way, you know. But you got to learn how to handle it. That's part of being a man. Being a man ain't, you know. Being a man is being able to handle your emotions. If you can't handle your emotions, you're not a man. You must go through the fiery of emotions before you become a human being, let alone a man.
Now, we're talking about men, but there also are women.
Yeah.
There are violent out there too.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I know,
Yes.
and sometimes they're the most violent.
Yeah.
Women are lining up going into the prison system now.
Right.
But you know what? Women reflect men in the society.
Okay.
So they just perpetrating on what they see. Whether, I don't care what women think or how they think it, they reflect us. It's just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, it ain't no such thing as a no good woman. If wherever you find a no good woman, a no good man made her that way. She just reflected what she see. She trying to equal herself up to him. So if she that way, we made her that way. You know.
So it comes back to us.
It come back to us. We got to take responsibility as men, and also, we're not worthy as being called a man if we don't protect and respect our women. You know, nobody will recognize the black man. We, in our community and on the TV, on the radio station, we just disrespect our women fluently. But the society disrespect women, period. That's why the society is in a degraded state that that we are in right now. But it starts off, if you want to elevate the society, you elevate the woman. That's why we starting right here. And that's why you need to start with the protection and the respect of the woman before you even clean up the community.
Okay.
And listening to Brother Michael talk about the man's position and the woman's position, that's also another contributing factor to the root of domestic violence. We have no clear roles in the home. And because we don't have any clear roles in the home, there's no structure. It's dysfunctional. You know, there's no father in the home. The father is taken out of the home. So another thing that contributes to the domestic conflict is we don't know what we're supposed to do in the home. So it needs to be roles given to what is the man supposed to do, roles given to the woman, what is she supposed to do, so we can find that balance. And once we start building from distributing the proper roles for each other, then I really believe that we can eliminate domestic violence.
Okay. Brothers and sisters, if you're just now tuning in to the Self-Improvement Basis for Community Development Talk Show, I'm honored to have on the show from the United Survival School, the United Survival
School of
of Survival. Sorry,
Yes.
apologize for that. We have Brother Sensei Michael here
Yeah.
and two of his students, and we're talking about a very special event that's going to be coming up on March the 19th, 2016 at the Charles Powell Community Center. That's in Westwood. And the title of the event is I Am Not a Victim, Self-Defense Workshop for Women. And as my sister was speaking, I was thinking the imbalance in the house when they take that male out of the house. And now women are raising young men, but they're raising feminine men. And I don't mean to offend anybody.
Yeah.
But if you look at the crime and the domestic violence in our community, we're responding out of our emotions. You know, a woman responds out of emotion. That's her self-preservation mechanism, you know. But a man, I always taught by my grandfather, he was cool, calm, relaxed. He would tell my grandmother, don't worry until you see me worry. But he never worried because he had things handled. He wasn't emotional. But now when you see men today slapping women, screaming like women, getting upset, our relationship between brothers based on the emotion. So we pull a gun quickly. We can't have patience with one another. We can't converse and solve our problems. It's the emotional reaction, you know.
Exactly.
So we pick up a weapon, we pick up a stick, we pick up a knife. So we have to bring that balance back to the home where a young man can see a father being a man again. And I guess that goes back to what you were saying, sister. 30 years ago when they went through the black community, and I'm going to say it, under Clinton administration, we lost jobs, right? The black man fared worse under Clinton administration, believe it. More black men went to jail. You had 3 strikes and you out. And now you have this black man out in the streets now with his pants down. And he's become a feminine man. And he's really scared of him. Now the woman has switched roles, as you said, role playing. Now she got the wife beater on, and she's sagging her pants, and she's shaving her hair off on the side. Now she's taking on the man role. And there's a problem with domestic violence there. Not with just male and female. Now you got female on female.
You know, if a man got himself together and he's being a man, you can't stop right there, because if it's a million other men that ain't got it together, you ain't got it together either. We got to take responsibility like that in the community. I might be doing very well, but if thousands of my young brothers out there going through some things, I need to go out there and reach them. If 1,000 of my other women sisters going out there going through some things, I need to go out there and get them and help them be a better man, and help them be a better woman, you know. And it starts off, the black man is so down. We can't get up without God's help. We can't get up without pulling on God, Him being in the center of our life. We can't do it on our own. But the machoism that we have, and we think we can do it on our own, but you got to pull on God. That's only one way that I can see, and you can and we can get out this situation. And it's a long haul, and we got to be in this fight, and we're gonna be in this fight, and we're gonna win.
Now let me ask you a question. United School of Survival. We know we have to not only start with grown men, but also young men, teenagers, young boys. How can martial arts make a better man out of him, make them more spiritual? I'm reminded of the show Kung Fu. Kung Fu stayed on for a whole hour, but he only fought the last 2 minutes of the show. But they taught you patience, and he always would try to use his words, his wisdom to talk his way out of the fight.
Yeah.
How can martial arts help these young men on a spiritual level?
You know, Prophet Muhammad had a saying about war. He said, "Never ever desire to go to war, but when your peace is broken, war is at the edge of a sword." That's the last resort. But in our community, that's the first resort, because that makes you look like you a man. But being quick to fight make you really less than a man. That puts you on a level as a beast, as a dog. You know, as a beast, as a dog. But controlling your emotions, you know, it reminded me of a situation that I was in not too long ago. This guy kept on messing with me, egging me on. I played it cool, and then when he seen me do a couple of martial arts moves, he was like, "Whoa!" But the fact of it is that he know that I can fight or whatever. He was like, "Whoa, I was messing with the wrong one," but I didn't display that I can fight. I displayed that I don't have to fight. You see what I'm saying? That's what martial arts is all about. But when it's time to come to defend myself, I'm well able, and I'm teaching others to be well able to defend themselves. But it ain't all about the fight.
Oh, okay. Now, sisters, how has martial arts affected your life? Because you might not be a victim of domestic violence, but there's other things you can learn from martial arts.
Well, it would definitely keep you from being a victim.
All right.
Domestic violence. And I would just like to say I have really enjoyed being in this class with Brother Sensei Michael. I'm still on the lower level, but I'm working. But I can see how it's like renewing my body physically. But I would say more importantly that Brother Michael is an awesome instructor in the sense that he is not intimidating towards women. He is very helpful. He is very kind, and he is very patient. And in the beginning, I thought that probably was going to be a problem, but it was no problem at all. I think he is probably one of the best instructors in the city because of how we're taught. We're taught not to be the aggressor, but fight with those who fight with us. Okay. And when we have that aspect, it actually empowers us. It makes us stronger. And for me, I love the spiritual aspect. Many people may look at martial arts and say, what kind of spiritual aspect can you bring to martial arts? It's a lot of it. There's a lot of principles that you can learn through martial arts. And with Brother Michael being an instructor, he is able to impart that on us. I really enjoy that.
Okay, because you're a beautiful Christian sister.
Right.
And you benefit from martial art too as it relates to spirituality too, right?
That's right. The camaraderie, and I feel that even though I'm Christian and you all are Muslim, we still seek God. You know, we are one in class. We do everything.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if you're 5 years old
That's right.
or almost 100 years old. We're doing the same thing. We are one. And with us fighting together, we take over.
Okay. Now, in closing, what would you say to young women out there about this event? Why is it important for them to come to this event?
I would say that it starts with your mind. Make the choice today to attend the event. We have something to teach you. We have something to show you. You don't have to be a victim. You can live, and you can be happy.
That's right.
Well, brothers and sisters, thank you for coming on the Self-Improvement Show. Remember, brothers and sisters, I Am Not a Victim, Self-Defense Workshop for Women, March the 19th, 2016 at the Charles Powell Community Center. That's 810 Western Park Driveway, Memphis, Tennessee, and that's the Westwood Community Center. And for more information, you can give them a call at 901-304-6755 or 901-338-1166. And you see that at the bottom of the screen. Brothers and sisters, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for
May
having
God
us.
bless you with a beautiful event.
Train when you sleep.
Until next week, brothers and sisters, as we say, peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum.